we have a startup pavilion here and a panel discussion on the trend of the business nowadays. That is startups and also startup success stories. Moderating the same is Mr. Kushal Trivedi. So, welcome, sir. You are the moderator today, and I'm pleasure to welcome you. Kushal Trivedi is the founder and CEO of multiple award-winning EdTech startup, startup advisor at Wadhwani Foundation, startup mentor, and Joe Stock speaker. So, welcome, Mr. Kushal Trivedi. I'll be handing over it to you now, and you have to manage the panel discussion after this. Thank you.
Definitely. Thank you. Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope I'm audible, right?
Yes. Yeah, Kushal. Good afternoon.
Okay.
Hi.
Yeah. Hi. So let's just not waste some time and get the ball rolling. So I'll start with Tanya. So Tanya, I've seen the profile and all the details that were shared with me, and from that I would like to know a few things, like you have more than 12 years of experience, and you have worked with some amazing companies, and you have a very strong background. So how did the overall idea of iDevi came into the existence, and can you just talk more about it?
Well, hi everyone, and I'm so glad to be part of this panel amongst some brilliant founders, some ladies that I've personally had the chance to interact with, both professionally and otherwise. And thanks, Kushal, for that question, and Dr. Praveen for inviting us here. So I'll थोड़ा simplify करने की कोशिश करती हूँ, ठीक है? तो मेरी life की journey में भूल जाइए brands और बाकी सब जो ठप्पे हैं. But in my journey of life, मैंने ये सीखा है कि mindset is everything. ठीक है? आप कहीं से भी हो सकते हैं, आप किसी भी जेंडर के हो सकते हैं, आप किसी भी सोशियो इकोनॉमिक बैकग्राउंड से हो सकते हैं, लेकिन अगर आपका सीखने का, कुछ कर दिखाने का माइंडसेट है, दैट इज व्हाट सेपरेट्स यू, ऑफ कोर्स अपार्ट फ्रॉम अपॉर्चुनिटीज एंड लक आल्सो प्लेइंग इन डिफरेंट पार्ट्स ऑफ योर लाइफ, ठीक है? And in my last 3 years of work, working with some countries like Middle East, Africa, with Latin America and India, specifically in the government of India, मैंने ये देखा कि the demographic dividend of these countries over the next 10 to 20 years is actually going to be the highest. मतलब आपका जो youth population का sheer amount या volume है, वो बहुत ज़्यादा है. और इतना ज़्यादा youth energy है, लेकिन वो opportunities match करने के लिए शायद नहीं है. तो इसके दो solution हो सकते हैं, या दो problems मैंने notice करी, ठीक है? एक problem, and I will focus only on the university and the corporate layer. तो एक सिस्टेमिक प्रॉब्लम तो ये है कि ट्रांसफरेबल स्किल सेट्स जो बच्चों के पास होते हैं, ठीक है, वो लार्ज ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस कैप्चर नहीं कर पाती, बिकॉज करियर्स ट्रेडिशनली हैव बीन लीनियर, राइट? आपने अगर फाइनेंस में शुरू किया तो आप वही कर रहे हैं, और उसके बाद आपको अगर and COVID exposed some of these problems, specifically in India, right? A lot of people lost their jobs, and a lot of these people were employed by large organizations, चाहे वो blue collar थे, चाहे वो white collar थे, ठीक है? So एक flaw तो ये expose हुआ in the transferable skill set piece, which was missing in the existing system.
Correct.
प्रॉब्लम स्टेटमेंट ये है कि विलिंगनेस और एबिलिटी टू लर्न, ठीक है? आज की डेट में हम इंफॉर्मेशन एज में, ऐसी कोई जगह नहीं है जहां टेक्नोलॉजी नहीं पहुंची, ठीक है? सो जिसको भी सीखना है वो सीख सकता है, लेकिन हमारे माइंडसेट्स स्पेसिफिकली फॉर द डेवलपिंग इकोनॉमीज, राइट, हमें पैसा बुरी चीज है ये सिखाया जाता है फॉर सम रीजन, एंड सेकेंडली वी हैव बीन नर्चर्ड टू बिलीव सर्टेन थिंग्स which keep us in our shells. And entrepreneurship, is something very simple. आप बिना पैसे के भी बिजनेस 0 से 1 लेके जा सकते हैं. आपके पास एक क्राफ्ट है, आप उससे भी बिजनेस बना सकते हैं. आप देखेंगे घर में पुराने जमाने में एमवे से लेकर अब के टाइम पे वोकेशनल ट्रेनिंग में भी बहुत ऐसी लड़कियां लड़के हैं जो काम कर रहे हैं. तो काम करने की इच्छा है, तो अब आपके पास वो टेक्नोलॉजी का प्लेटफॉर्म भी है जहां से आप आगे उसको बहुत सारे देशों में या देश के डिफरेंट पार्ट्स में भेज सकते हैं, राइट? सो टेक्निकली those are some of the observations that I made, and I was at Reliance and I was at Hindustan Times, right? And Coursera free में मिलता था, but आप कर ही नहीं पाते because time ही नहीं बचता था, क्योंकि जिसने सीखना है वो इंटरनेट से YouTube का वीडियो देख के सीख लेगा, right? And so ये दो स्टार्टअप्स थे जिनके साथ मैंने एप्स पे काम किया, जो they were trying to solve this problem कि अगर आप कुशल सीख रहे हैं, मैं सीख रही हूँ, अनुराधा सीख रहे हैं, तीनों का एप्टीट्यूड और इंटरेस्ट अलग है, तो कैसे वो एक डिसीजन ट्री बने कि हम सिर्फ एक मेरिटोक्रेसी या मार्क्स पे या एक अच्छे कॉलेज जाने पे उस पे बेसिस नौकरी ना मिले, एटीट्यूड या माइंडसेट और ट्रांसफरेबल स्किल सेट्स पे मिले. A lot of the startups actually hire like that, but systemically the large companies still don't hire like that. So उस
Right.
gap को fill करने के लिए I set up iDevi. And interestingly enough, पिछले 3 साल में मुझे याद है जब मैंने कंपनी शुरू करी थी, Zomato में काम करते करते एक एक्सीडेंट हो गया था तो गर्दन I broke my neck and shoulder. And I started with zero money. I was living in my car for 6 months without telling anyone. Thankfully, restaurants और hotels में जुगाड़ था. Zomato के thanks to Zomato. तो सुबह जाती थी, नहाती थी और काम पे निकल जाती थी. लीगल सीखा, फाइनेंस सीखा, धक्के खाए. बाय चांस इन्वेस्ट इंडिया में उसके बाद नौकरी लग गई एंड वहां से देन आई सॉर्ट ऑफ टुक द फ्लाइट एंड स्टिल उसके बाद कोविड हो गया. तो बहुत स्टार्टअप्स ने पैसे नहीं दिए. तो ये करते 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 सीखा और बहुत सारी कंपनीज में काम करते करते स्किल सेट्स रिफाइन करे और ये भी समझा कि स्ट्रक्चर कैन नॉट बी द आंसर. जहां आप स्ट्रक्चर ले आते हैं वहां आप लर्निंग को और एवोल्यूशन को नेचुरली कर्व कर रहे हैं. तो iDevi एज अ कंपनी is registered as a class 35 company, which means that I help, or I as a consultant, as a solopreneur, help companies and I pick up projects from them. And then I go and search for tier 2, tier 3 kids and I coach them, I build those skills and then I get them those jobs. So it's in a way, it's a smaller format of a platform model that you will see in a lot of these apps today. But I like things my own way. So I think I'm going to continue on that journey. And over time, now I work with partners and I specifically teach fundamental skill sets like communications and negotiations, etc., which of course have multiple or problem solving, जिसको आप marketing, business development, आप decision making, policy कहीं भी apply कर सकते हैं.
So
Yes.
Interesting journey, and what was the reason behind picking up this name iDevi, because it sounds very traditional and powerful at the same time.
Yes. So मुझे ना 2 नामों से बुलाया जाता है इंडस्ट्री में, या तो क्रेजी तान्या जब तक मैं स्टार्टअप्स में थी और उसके बाद से देवी तान्या जब से गवर्नमेंट के साथ काम करना शुरू किया, क्योंकि मैं एकदम साड़ी पहन के ऐसे ही तैयार होके ना बहुत ही the reason why I called this iDevi was because the intent and I'm a genderless person, but the intent was to actually enable women. I think they are much more capable in the multitasking that they bring to the table. And so most of my work, at least in time, and I'm conscious of that, I tend to end up working with women founders.
Right. I was going to ask you about that as well, because the name sounded very, feminine, and what is your core focus and how did you, glad to know about everything that you are doing, and I wish you all the best, and most welcome in Gujarat whenever you have a chance. Right. So jumping on to Anuradha from Think North Consulting. So we have 2 Anuradha, same name. So I'll
Same surname
tag it
also.
with the yeah, I'll tag it with the name of the company. So from your profile, I see that you started in somewhere around 2019, and when it is a crucial time for all these startup entrepreneurs, the first year and a half, the 18 months that we start, right? Being an entrepreneur myself, I also know that it's very important to bring all the energy down into the one goal that we have started. So you started in 2019, and it's very impressive from the details that I've been shared with. So you have won so many accolades in such a short span, and a difficult one to say, especially. So for now, how is your journey? How will you put it forward to everyone here? What is so rewarding, and what are the struggles that you have faced along the way especially because of the pandemic situation?
Thank you so much for the question, Kushal. So I've always been an entrepreneur. Being a director of Janajil, that has something which I've been doing parallelly for a very, very long time. And so Think Not started in 2019. However, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 24. Think Not started in 2019. However, we started operating in the first week of March 2020 because the company itself got registered in October. When we started in March 2020, we didn't know what the third week had in store for us. When the first wave of COVID was here, we thought, as we were hearing the rumors that, once the temperature goes up, the COVID is going to go out of the country.
Right.
And I remember scheduling because, from March 2020, we went on a, spree of pitching to the clients because, we were setting up the whole company and we thought, okay, it's okay.
Right.
We'll reschedule it for 4 weeks later and things like that. But later we realized there's no pitching happening at all. So that was but that's what I think we all entrepreneurs are made of. We don't know what the future is going to be tomorrow. But I think the best part of me and the team and everybody at Think Not is that we're very, very resilient. One thing that I was sure of, that I'm not going to lay off anybody. I'm very close to the team. In fact, the team has been with me for last 6 to 7 years, the same set of people. So there's a very, very strong loyalty. I have moved from organization to organization, but the people remain the same. And whether it's from the client side, they don't care whether Anuradha puts Think Not under her or any other company. They will just come with me to where I am. And so that's one thing that I was very, very sure of, because for me, it's always people over everything else. And so I knew if I had people and if, they had my back, we will make it, and we made it. So that's what. And regarding the accolades, Kushal, I'm not the kind of the person who runs up after the accolades. The Three Idiots says one line, ki you run after the craft and everything else follows. And that's the mantra that I've followed all my life. The only thing that I'm here to do is to deliver the work. And rest, everything eventually it's a byproduct. If you're good at what you do, everything eventually comes by success, money, recognition. So honestly, to get featured here, to get this award was never the intention. Our aim has just been able to deliver good work. Touch wood, by God's grace, we have been able to do that. So that's where I'm headed. I don't care where my team is working from. I don't care about swanky offices. I'm sure even that will flow in one day. All I care about, if people are being paid on time, people are being paid well, and they are comfortable from where they're working from. I don't care whether they're working from Goa or they're working from Bangalore, they're working from Mumbai, or they're working from their team. I work from tier 2 and tier 3 cities often. I love being in us. So I'm like that, I follow Sridhar Vembu's Yoho's founder philosophy. He works from a village in, in South India. And I totally admire, because I think there's so much of noise in the cities that once you just retire back, you're able to think very clearly. And as entrepreneurs, you need to have that balcony view of things for you to progress. It's so easy to get busy with micromanaging day-to-day stuff that it's very important for me to get a balcony view. And, I take a lot of pride. A lot of people also ask me, sometimes I work from a very small place in UP, which is my parents' place. And I take a lot of pride in that. So, I think with the right principles and the foundation, I think we are set in the right direction. And hopefully, let's see what the years 2022 has to, bring to us.
Definitely. So I see that you and Tanya are coming from an industry which is mainly into servicing kind of an industry, right? So now moving forward, because of this hybrid work culture, and that has been developed because of the COVID, how do you see that, especially in the service industry, that these things are going to be as in like a thumb rule kind of a thing? That is it easy to work with the team which is remotely working throughout the day, or was it the pre-COVID era was a bit easy to manage people, especially the team?
Tanya, you want to go first?
I just have one line to say. I think there is no replacement for the human experience. So yes, of course, it's not as enjoyable, and there are extra hours put in because of the remote work. Having said that, jisko kaam karna hai, wo kaam karega, remote, hybrid, doesn't matter. And there are ways that you can meet the team, right? You can go on trips once in 6 months, depending on. So Anuradha, back to you.
So I think what is very important is that emotional intelligence, especially initially you could sit with the team, you could understand what they're going through. And as leaders, it's very, very important to understand what is the emotional condition of your team. So I think as leaders,
that's one of the point that I was, going to pop up, which you rightly said that, talking about work is a different thing, but having an idea about the mental state or something which irks our employees, because we all have been doing service industry work or product related company and stuff like that. So it's very important, and when the team works under one roof, it becomes easy to know about all these other attributes that affects their performance in the company or during the work.
Yeah, so like I said, Kushal, I think developing that relational intelligence muscle is very, very important to be able to understand that what your team is feeling, what they're going through. I think as leaders, we need to just get more intuitive. Personally, for me, a hybrid model has been a blessing, honestly, because I've been able to focus on the team rather than building and investing in the infrastructure, which I wanted to anyways focus on to start with. So that added pressure actually went off from my shoulders. So personally, it has worked for me. But yes, like Tanya said, yeah, we don't get to meet very often. However, I ensure that we have Zoom meetings, and I, call individually everybody and ask how are they doing. So I think that bit is definitely there, but it's a fine balance, you have to strike.
Just to add to the point that you said right now, anyone who is working remotely, I mean, we have also implemented a game called Gather. You can probably check out, or anyone who's listening can check out if they are working with a remote team. It's a very good game, as well as it's a very, strong team building exercise as well, which gives each and every team, if it's a big company, then department wise also it can be done. And it is a very effective way to, have a good team bonding, which I have personally experienced during these pandemic times. So yeah, thank you, Anuradha. That was awesome to know about everything that you have done so far. And moving on to another Anuradha from Multibhashi, right? Hi Anuradha, how are you?
Hi Kushal, all well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So I read about your startup and venture, and I feel that what you are doing is definitely a need of an hour, and the pandemic has accelerated the urge for product like Multibhashi. So I mean, there is YouTube and there are other platforms as well where teaching. I'm from the edtech industry and I've been into it since 2016. So how Multibhashi is been accepted in the market and how it started, and what sets apart from the different players that are there in the market. So can you just throw some light on it? That would be great.
Sure. So first of all, a little background on me, Kushal. I come from Jaipur, Rajasthan, born and brought up in a very traditional family. So it was very difficult to convince my parents to send me out for education. So they let me study even beyond 12th was something big for them in itself. Okay. So I completed my graduation engineering in computers, MBA in finance. But beyond Jaipur, I was never allowed to, go out and work. Though can't even imagine. In my family, it's like girls become housewives, boys take up father's business. That's the all and end all. So for me to be able to break that stereotype, it was possible because my husband was extremely supportive. I was lucky to be married to an IIT alumnus, Devendra. And once I got married, I got to see a whole different world where women work, they are given opportunities, equal opportunities, and my husband was extremely supportive that I do something of my own. We together started a boutique investment bank, and we were basically helping startups raise funds. I also had a background in finance. He was also from private equity. So I worked with Dexter for almost 3 years. My role was to meet new founders, understand what they were doing, and connecting them with the right investors. During that period, I gave birth to my second child, and for that particular pregnancy, because it was a little complicated, I moved back to Jaipur for a couple of months. And this was after a long duration since I got married. So going back home was a different experience now because, you had tasted a different world. And people back home were also pretty, taken aback that a woman is working with her husband, actually making a career, even with 2 kids. So a few of my relatives approached me saying that, we also want to do something like females and same boundaries, same restrictions. But their biggest mental block was that we can't even speak in English. So, forget about making a career. We too can't even speak English. So I was like, how can that be such a big block? But okay, I said, let me help you come over this. And I started advising them on different edtech platforms because offline was out for them, right? Because they couldn't go out and join a tuition center. It was a big stigma that for them to be able to study itself was a big deal. So then they tried a few of these apps, these websites, and they came back saying, tech to hai, but ed missing hai. So basically, we're not we are not able to get what we are looking for. It's trying to teach me English from as if I'm a school kid. It's trying to teach me high-fi vocabulary. Now, what do I do with it? I have a very, very specific use case. I want to step out and be able to talk to people in English. I want to be able to inquire for jobs. I want to be able to appear for interviews. I want to be able to receive phone calls gracefully. So then I started working with them on those use cases. And I started building content for them. And there was no iota intent of starting a business. I was very happy with what I was doing at Dexter. I was just trying to help a few of my family members. But they really liked what I did, the way I did it. It was very colloquial. It was bilingual. Most of the apps and website at that point of time were teaching English through English, which was defeating its own purpose, right? And they were trying to be very, very conventional about the teaching method. So we did it in a conversational way. I started creating videos, Kushal. So in the beginning, what I used to do was I used to, at night after putting my kids to bed, I used to record these videos saying, आज हम सीखेंगे अंग्रेजी में रेस्टोरेंट में कैसे बात की जाए, खाना कैसे ऑर्डर किया जाए, फोन पे कैसे बात की जाए, दोस्तों से कैसे मिला जाए, right? And I created hundreds of these animated videos. I used to give it my own voice, and I started posting it all on Facebook so that they could consume it better and share it better, because emails attachments were heavy for them. And that Facebook page surprisingly picked up really well. People I didn't even know from across the country.
Which year was that?
This was in 2016 Feb that I launched the page. And just for fun, I called it multi-bhashi. Although I was just teaching English through Hindi, I don't know why.
Spot on name, and
yeah, I don't know what I don't even remember now what triggered me to keep the name multi-bhashi. But yeah, it clicked with people. I think I was looking for something catchy and which had something to do with languages. And then people started demanding for other languages. They started saying, my mother wants to learn English, but she can only understand Bangla. Can you give me Bengali to English? So I was like, yeah, we have a lot of videos in Bengali to English. I collaborated with somebody online. I had an intern who was a Bangla native. We dubbed a few videos to Bengali to English and launched another Facebook page that also did well. So in mid 2016 is somewhere that I said to Devendra that, see, I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. Looks like a huge market opportunity. I want to deep dive into it full time. So he was very, good with this. He was very encouraging. He let me quit Dexter completely. Started building a product. I had a background in computer engineering. So we put together an app with a very small, lean tech team. I wasn't even sure it was going to fly off as a business model. I wasn't even sure whether I should build a for-profit or a not-for-profit. I was brainstorming with multiple fellow founders, advisors. And then the one common theme that came out of it was, if you want to build something big, because the market is big, the demand is huge, then you need to go for something which is self-sustainable. You cannot depend on grants and, social sector funding. So we decided to do a for-profit model. We launched our first version of app in December 2016, where we taught English through Hindi and Bengali. We got our first round of funding in 2017. Expanded to 12 Indian languages through which we taught English. March 2020, when the lockdown happened, we decided to experiment a couple of things. We started teaching foreign languages and we started doing live learning also. So till then, we were making zero revenues, Kushal. We were only doing a free app where
congratulations that I came to know that, you have also won the innovation challenge from the government of India, right?
That is more recent. So I think we got noticed. A lot of entries were invited from across the country. Government organized this my app innovation challenge.
This falls for everyone. That everyone must have faced setbacks and challenges, starting afresh and not having a backup, solid backup or a team at disposal. So can you talk about setbacks that you have faced and how you tried to overcome? Any two setbacks that you remember, or you feel that they have taught you a lot, which otherwise you wouldn't be able to get to know or overcome those things? Starting with Tanya.
Oh, I was actually going to say starting with Think Not Consulting, but okay. In the last 3 years, I think one primarily as a woman, and I'm not sure if this is true for everyone or not, but there is a huge imposter syndrome that I think I've faced, right? Wherein at some point, because you are brought up in a society somehow you end up feeling कि नहीं शायद ये नहीं होगा तो I have gone back to jobs right in the last 3 years just to kind of make ends meet. मुझे याद है मैं अभी जब अनुराधा मल्टीभाषी से मिली थी तब मैं बैंगलोर में थी 20,000 कमा रही थी एंड वो 20,000 आ रहे थे 2 कंसल्टिंग के GLG पे 1 घंटा का $150 मिलता था और वो 20,000 का 20,000 खर्च हो जाता था। फिर जब नया कॉन्ट्रैक्ट उठाया तो 4 बच्चे थे, जितना कमाती थी उनको दे देती थी, तो खाने के वांदे पड़े हुए थे। But there was also a slight imposter syndrome that I had with wherein it was tough. There were days that I've cried alone and I've not told anyone because I don't think anyone could have understood that journey. ऐसा नहीं है कि आसपास friends or family supportive नहीं थे, but कैसे समझाओ? How do you even go on and, you know, what do you really take help for? So taking help was a big challenge for me. That's one. The second one is I am actually specially abled और ये शायद ये बताने वाली बात नहीं है, but I deal with a lot of chronic pain in general. So for me, I deal with that on a daily basis, and that has been my challenge wherein being able to prioritize my own health, given that I was raised in the startup culture of this country, तो मतलब भागने की आदत है सातों दिन, you know, you don't sleep, you're so passionate. तो मेरी body, I think after 30, मेरे दिमाग की speed का साथ नहीं दे रही है. And that was one of the other challenges that I faced in the last 3 years, and specifically during COVID, because health is wealth was the primary outcome. And you know, given that I was staying alone for most of the 2 years, unlike other people who had gone back home, I think just surviving alone, those two things. I'm sorry, I'm bad at talking about myself. So in that sense, so I'm going to pass on the ball to the other.
That's completely fine. That's the real story about all the entrepreneurs, right? Which are rarely being
sharing so much about yourself without caring about what others think. So I truly appreciate.
Gee, thanks. No, this is not about what other people think. This is just about मुझे ना discomfort होता है ये सब बातें बताने में. But thanks, Anuradha, for the positivity. I think that's it from my side. But getting over it was easy. You just keep yourself telling yourself, and you know वो क्या कहते हैं पुराने जमाने में वो एक सितारा देख के शिप निकलती थी ना, तो वही है. एंड यूनिवर्सिटी बनाना चाहती हूँ जहाँ फॉरेन के बच्चे आए कि यू नो इंडिया पढ़ने जाना है. That's the idea.
Great. Jumping on to any of the Anuradha that wants to take it up. Yeah.
Anuradha, do you want to go?
Yeah, sure. So, Kushal, I think even after working with an investment bank for 3 years and looking at so many founders' journeys up close and personally, when you start something of your own, the entire hustle is completely different, right?
Right.
Thankfully, I had a lot of support in terms of so many fellow founders who I could look up to whenever मुझे सेल्स में प्रॉब्लम है तो मुझे पता है मुझे किसके पास जाना है, मुझे टेक में प्रॉब्लम है तो मुझे पता है मुझे उसके पास जाना है. Despite having so many advisors, so many fellow founders, when you are responsible for something, it's almost like raising those 2 small kids. When you're responsible for something which is so new, so fragile, and there are a lot of people who question your so in the early days, I've heard things like, "To bachcho ki maa kya startup karegi?" You know, all that shit you hear. There are people who say, "Copy paste model hai tumhara, naya kya hai isme? Why should I put in money?" A lot of investors become rude in the process of fundraising. A lot of potential hires become rude in the process of hiring. I don't know why, but you know, so you have to deal with all that. So I think that whole process. But my struggle kind of became easier once I had my core team in place. There are people who've been with me since the beginning of time, extremely supportive. Whenever you go through those lows, my own husband, extremely supportive, extremely experienced in this industry. So I look up to him for a lot of advice in different areas. So I think that kind of support system is what made it possible. Also, both sides, families, ultimately were supportive. I wouldn't say that they really like me working with the kids being, you know, because they always feel the kids are suffering because you're working, right? But still, when it comes to, we've kind of agreed to disagree. So now both sides of mothers, both sides of parents support. Whenever I have to travel, they take care of the kids also. They're ready to travel to Bangalore to take care of kids if required. So that way, it's been a huge help. And Bangalore, I think, coming to Bangalore to start Multibhashi was one turning point. When I look back, I thank my stars that I did that. because here the entire ecosystem is
Right.
different. Like everybody supports each other without expecting anything at all in return.
Yes.
So that's been my big support system.
Great.
Yeah, over
So
to you,
I kind
Anuradha.
I kind of connect with your story from a father's perspective, because when I decided to leave my job in 2015, so that was something where I also faced being a male earner, and having the elder brother in the house and stuff like that. So in Gujarati family, those who are into the business are traditional business. No one thinks about a typical the startup field. And at that time, the buzzword was not that much, which is right now. So I had a daughter. My elder daughter was around 3 years of age, and I literally was not having the guts to inform to my parents, because we live in a joint family of grandparents, parents, uncle and aunties and stuff like that. So I literally went out to a friend's office, sat there for 1 week before gathering all kind of guts and putting it in front of my family. So that was the thing. And yeah, I kind of connect with your story that when there are uncertainties, and there which makes us doubt ourselves as well, that what if we are going to fail, why these people are talking negative about what we are trying to achieve, and stuff like that. So yeah, great one. So yeah, Anuradha.
No, Kushal, I'd just like to add, like, even I think the expectations from me was not to work at all. I went to UK to do my master's degree, but everybody thought or assumed that I did my master's degree to get married into a good family, and which was a huge shocker for me, because I did my degree to be able to start something. And
Right.
but when you hear people's, I realize there's an expectation mismatch, and I'm going to ruffle a lot of feathers along the way, and I was ready for that, including my own family. My family evolved, like Anuradha said. Like, I am also from a typical Agarwal family, so you're not expected to work at all, and forget about doing a job. Taking a plunge into entrepreneurship, that too as a first step in your career, because that
Right.
also requires, I was putting all my savings into the venture, and that was like, people expected me to buy clothes or spend on things, and here I was, every penny that I'd saved, or every gift that I'd gotten, to either pay my team or to be able to afford a better system or things like that. So yeah, so that, but like I said, family evolved, and so that's why I had a great support system around. And like, talking about the setbacks, the name of the firm, Think North, it's an inspiration from the lot of setbacks that I've had in life. Yeah, even on the darkest days, I know I have to think north, because if you start thinking north, things eventually happen. And so November 2019 was that month in my life, and that's so the firm's name was actually, it's a translation of what I was going through in life. And so every time, think not actually symbolizes that for me. And during COVID, obviously there were a lot of retainers which were slashed and things like that. But I think for entrepreneurs, I mean, that's an everyday job, right? Every day you wake up, you don't know what's going to come in front of you, right? And you just have to navigate. It's a huge, big mental game for you. But I've been on this journey for the last 6 years now. And honestly, I don't fear failures anymore. And yes, like Tanya said, imposter syndrome, these things are very, very real, and more so for women entrepreneurs, I can say, because when male founders, they fail, I mean, the whole society is ready to support them. But when female fail, trust me, we don't have any safety net. People will tell you, we told you not to work in first place, and things like that. So you have no clue how much of fear is there, and how much of fear of failure is there. We don't know if we'll even get a chance to be able to prove ourselves again or not. But like I
Right.
said, I mean, we have decent support system, and since everybody is evolving, I'm sure even if we fail, we'll find the guts and the support to get up again and to walk on our feet. And I think that's what we all are doing here, Tanya and Radha and me. So yeah.
Can I
Definitely.
pitch in and say something?
Yeah, sure.
Kushal? So one, I'd love to agree with Anuradha Multibhashi and say that Bangalore is a blessing. It's a blessing of a city in this country. One. Two, for what Anuradha from Think North was saying, right? I call this phenomena fair weather friends. So जब आप कुछ बन जाते हो ना, तो सबको आपकी लाइट में एक हिस्सा चाहिए. जब आप नीचे होते हो तो सिर्फ आप अपने दोस्त हो. जब तक आप ये रियलाइज करके रखो लाइफ में, आई थिंक मुश्किलें आसान हो
Right.
जाती हैं. At the end of the day, you have to sleep with yourself. So we have to do
Yes.
whatever makes us happy.
So I definitely connect with what you're saying because I personally felt when I started and looking at my background before I jumped into entrepreneurship. So I had more than 12 years of experience into marketing, traditional and digital, right? So once I started, there were many close friends. I mean, those kind of friends who are called as a family friend and people who know me inside and out and my family as well. So they offered me to join, and they joined for some time. But running a product, especially for the ad tech market, to pick it up, it takes a bit of a patience and consistency. So I saw those people also turning back, and I mean, going back to their own ways. I will not put it as a blaming thing, but it was not something for everyone, and these kind of situations are very common when we talk about the entrepreneurship or the startup things, because when there is a mismatch at vision level, when there is mismatch at thought process level, many things didn't work out for many people. Even if the product is good, even if the founders have the capacity to build and scale, but things somewhere down the line, things, when there is a small kind of a glitch into it, it may create a huge impact. But it's part and parcel of all the entrepreneurial journey that we all go through.
अनुराधा 3 साल से कपड़े भी नहीं खरीदे हैं, गाड़ी भी बिक गई है. बाय द वे, इसी फिनोमेना को अमेरिकन्स सर्कुलर इकोनॉमी बोलते हैं.
And
when I was in job, when I was employee at a company, I used to travel into plane. जब खुद का आ गया तो it was train. Plane का तो ऐसा था कि urgency है, then and then only we'll go and book a flight. So that was also the phase that I have also passed through. So yeah, definitely. So jumping on to the next question, many people say that Bangalore, Delhi, Mumbai, वहाँ पे startup ecosystem or the startup ecosystem very well established, especially in Bangalore, as we all know, right? So what advice each one of you would like to give to the budding entrepreneurs who are watching this particular session, who are not from these cities? What advice would you like to give? Anyone can pick it up.
Okay, Anuradha, we can't hear you.
Oh, can you hear me now? Okay,
Yeah.
Sorry. My internet is acting up. It always happens when I have a panel discussion. Okay, so although I said just now, Kushal, that I love Bangalore, and that's true. But it's not that you have to be physically located in Bangalore to be able to enjoy the ecosystem, right? It's about making those connections. And with the virtual world being so prominent, it's not impossible to have, I got my first fundraise through a cold message I sent on LinkedIn to Dr. Malpani. That was how my first, fundraise happened. He's in Mumbai, I'm in Bangalore. There's no connection. We've never met before. Nobody referred me. Nobody vouched for me. This is how I started. So to all the people who are not in metro cities and, dreaming to build their own startup, already doing well, like somebody said, I think Anuradha said it in the beginning, it's all about your mindset. You have to have an unlimited mindset. Reach out to people. And what is the worst that will happen? The person won't reply, or the person would probably get rude with you. That's the max that can happen. But reach out to people, build those connections. You know who are the right people in the ecosystem to approach and ask for help. Trust me, from my experience, whenever I've reached out to people, unknown people, for help, 90% of the times they've reverted back and helped. And I was surprised and shocked that quite. And initially, like Tanya said, we are too self-conscious to even ask for help. Again, I would give this credit to my husband. He used to keep pushing me. Why not? Even if you don't know that person, if you know he has the answer to your questions, why can't you ask? At least shoot a cold email. At least shoot a cold message. What is the worst that will happen? He'll not respond, right? But in the initial days, I remember when the response was not coming, those 2-3 days or 4 days used to dampen my spirits like anything. See, I told you, this person won't respond. What would he be thinking about me? This girl out of nowhere messaged me, doesn't even know me. So, these kind of stories you tell yourself, and you don't even start networking. You don't even reach out to people. So I think that mindset needs to be developed. And then the location won't even matter. Anyway, everybody's working from home. I haven't seen my team for like months now. So how does that even matter?
Definitely. Anuradha, over to you.
Yeah, so I would agree with Anuradha. To me, honestly, like I said, I gave example of Sridhar Vembu, right, from Zoho. He's working from a remote location. And honestly, some of the biggest clients that I have bagged for Think Not is through Zoom meetings, honestly. Honestly, when the thing not started functioning, I mean, we weren't even allowed to travel, right? The airports were shut, and so I couldn't even go for a physical pitch. And I honestly don't see a problem. I think it's all about the mindset, like Tanya said in the beginning. It has to be the team is on the same page, and what are you working towards? That needs to be very clear. You can't just go mindlessly without a vision. What is that your firm or your organization is set out to create? Once that is there, I think that energy exchange happens over Zoom meeting. And I'm so glad on this panel there are three women here, because I think when we set out our own organizations, there's such a lack of women mentors and women role models, right? You ask people, I don't know how many of you have seen that Leap Club video where they talk about, okay, so can you name your male, some big male founders, right? Everybody's like Kunal Shah, Ronnie Screwvala, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, okay, can you name a female founder? A lot of people couldn't even remember the name of Falguni Nayar, couldn't even recall her second name, right? So I'm so glad. I hope we can bring about that change. And talking on a panel is actually just giving those other little girls hope somewhere that
Right.
we are also trying to make our way through, and hope they can also do it one day. So
Oh, great, amazing. So,
So
Tanya, over to you.
Yeah, I'll add on this. So I met this very interesting young lady called Sayasta Amin. She got into this construction company in the middle of Hampi. I'm forgetting the name now, and she had a similar problem, right? Ki all male mentors the, so I feel very different here, and मैं network कैसे करूँ, मैं दोस्ती कैसे करूँ, etc. And where she comes from in Assam, right? She says that it's celebrated to be a housewife. It's celebrated if you have great cooking skills, and this is something that I've had as a deficit ऑल माई लाइफ. मतलब मेरी मम्मी मुझे किचन में घुसने ही नहीं देती थी. मुझे बोला जाता था बेटा आप श्रवण कुमार हो घर के, आपने ही माँ बाप को लेके जाना है ढाले पे उठा के, ठीक है. आई नेवर हैड द चैलेंजेस ऑफ रीचिंग आउट टू पीपल बिकॉज सेल्स और बिजनेस डेवलपमेंट में मैं ट्रेंड हूँ. But I'll sort of give you an example of how I built clients in the US sitting here. So as part of these amazing groups of women, there's Ladies Get Paid, there is Slack Pay Lessons Up Community, Growth School, etc. And I was picking up business writing Facebook ads for a witchcraft company. मतलब इंडिया में जो योगा के नाम पे बिकता है उसको अमेरिका में लेके जाइए, एंड मैं फेसबुक एड्स लिख रही थी उनके लिए, और उस काम का मुझे $30 पर घंटा मिलता था. तो ऐसे ऐसे तो उल्टे पुल्टे काम करके सर्वाइव किया है. बट द पॉइंट हियर इज दैट if you don't ask, you will not know. Like both the ladies mentioned, it's always important to ask. Max क्या है ना बोल देगा कोई, डरना नहीं चाहिए. As long as आप sure है ना. और in fact the whole idea of setting up iDevi was this. Mostly businesses, people have ideas, people just struggle with that 0 to 1. एक तो वो idea को POC करके उसको hypothesis को theory कैसे बनाए, जब एक बार वो prove हो गया तो पैसा कैसे निकालें, या उसका pricing कैसे करना है, information कैसे use करनी है. और दूसरा ये है कि business development तो एक skill है. आप as a founder, your sole job apart from recruitment is just talking about your company all the time. वो नहीं है तो entrepreneurship नहीं है मेरे हिसाब से. So that's exactly the idea, and the NGO and the company that I was telling you about, in fact अभी Women Entrepreneurship Forum है नीति आयोग का, वहाँ पे age group जो होता है women entrepreneurs का वो 35 to 65 है. Most of these ladies want to start something at a later stage. तो वहाँ हम यही पढ़ाते हैं कि आपको how to present yourself better, या कैसे आप business में से कुछ उसको बड़ा करें, कहाँ बढ़ाएं, अपने हाइपर लोकल में स्टार्ट करें. तो यही है पाथवे. आई विल स्टॉप हियर. मैं थोड़ा बोलने में खो जाती हूँ.
No, I mean, it's always good to listen about all these things, and it only adds value, right? So definitely. Coming on to my last question that I have, I'll start with Tanya for this one. You have bootstrap venture, right? So what would be your advice for entrepreneurs to bootstrap their venture, and what according to you would be a great time for them to go out for fundraising?
So I would like both the Anuradhas to actually answer the second part of your question. And I will tell you about why I bootstrap. Because I come from funded startups. Itna zyada pressure hota hai na, that at some point in that journey, you lose your passion, right? And your people are the most important part. So if you could retain that team that you started it with and let them grow without any pressure. जब भी investor आता है ना, it's like आपने SIP में पैसा डाला, तो आपको return चाहिए ना 17% का. ठीक है, तो मुझे वो नहीं चाहिए था इस स्टेज में अपनी लाइफ के, और मैं बहुत प्यार से ग्रो करना चाहती थी, बिकॉज ऐसा नहीं है कि सिर्फ फंडेड स्टार्टअप्स ही बड़े होते हैं या फंडेड बिजनेसेस ही बड़े होते हैं, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है. तो मैं धीरे धीरे बिल्ड करना चाहती थी, एंड आई हैव गॉन बैक टू जॉब्स, डन इट फॉर 6 months, पैसा सेव किया, उसके बाद 6 महीने फिर से बैक टू माई स्टार्टअप. तो मैं वो थोड़ा मैकेनिज्म, मुझे ये बोलना नहीं चाहिए बिकॉज नाउ नो वन विल गिव मी अ जॉब as a backup. but I would like both the ladies to, and I'm sure both of them were approached by investors. ऐसा भी हुआ होगा कि जब आप अच्छा करने लग गए तो investment खुद भी आई चल के. So I think Anuradha and Anuradha, if you can take the second part of that question as to when to pivot.
Okay, I'll go next. I agree with Tanya. I think the whole aim for me also has been not to raise funds. I think to grow the startup in a way that I like and where the team is happy. So even if you'll see Zomato, after 13 years, they are where they are. Nykaa, 9 years. We have barely completed 2 years, and I'm glad that we are on our way. But I would like this journey to be more organic and sustainable rather than putting that added pressure. And especially, I don't think so. So the vision that I have, we are still honing ourselves to build that vertical. We are not completely there. So it doesn't make sense for me to even raise funds for something that, I want to stand for. So I think it's very important to identify to each, her own. So I would say, for every startup, it really depends on, what the founder's vision is. And like I said, there's no right or wrong answer here. It's completely okay to be bootstrapped, and it's completely okay to get funded. It depends on the business. It depends on the business model.
Definitely.
Sure. So I would definitely have a counter view here. And while I appreciate what Tanya and Anuradha said, see, like Anuradha mentioned in the end, every business is not a fundable business also, Kushal, right? So you have to identify what kind of business you are. Are you a kind of business which has a gestation period? So for Multibhashi, it was not even possible to survive without funding, because like I said, for the first 4 years of our life, we were not even monetizing. Yeah, we were not even monetizing. We were probably building a distribution channel. We were probably setting up a market for ourselves. And then when we started monetizing, we are scaling it beautifully. But the first 4 years of our existence wouldn't have been possible without funding. Also, why I think is, see, everything in excess is bad. But that kind of pressure that funding brings in is also positive in some sense. Because that is what differentiates you from being a traditional business, where you are putting in your own money and you are only answerable to yourself. While in a funded startup, because you have investors, you have to send an MIS every month. You have to appear on an MIS call every month or every quarter, and you have to show growth, and you have to answer if you're not showing growth. That kind of brings in a discipline, Kushal, because as a founder, it's lonely at the top. And for a single founder, it's even more lonely at the top. And you have a risk of losing that focus and discipline when you don't answerable to anybody. So I think in a way, it has its own positives, of course. It gives you wings. It gives you a potential to grow beyond you could ever do with your own capital. And it is very, very essential in models which will not monetize for the first few years of their existence. But they have a huge potential later to monetize and grow and become profitable at the end. So when is the right time to go for funding? I think the day you conceive your idea, right? And as a banker, I'm talking about this. The day you conceive your idea is the day you start networking with potential investors. Just the way you should not think about what the other person will think if I reach out to him for help. You should not think about, I just have a paper plan right now. How do I even talk to investors about it right now? You have to talk to potential investors from day one, because every time you talk to a potential investor, he or she is going to give you some milestones. Come back to me when you reach there. And
Right.
that's how you are going to end up ultimately getting your first round of funding. So my take on funded startups.
Great advice. I mean, it's kind of a necessity when, like you said, the last point, that when you don't have anything, tangible to show, but even the idea, just talk to the person. They might give you something where you are not focused, maybe in terms of building the product, or maybe in terms of business model. Somewhere down the line, it will definitely, add value. So if you look at it as in a positive way, and that's what entrepreneurship teaches everyone all about these things. So I guess I had a couple of more questions, but I guess our time is over. So
Yes, yes.
it was great interacting with you all. Apologies if I have missed something, or I've jumped onto something pretty quick and not able to give you some time.
Not at all, Kushal. You were absolutely amazing as a moderator.
Moderator,
Thank you
yes,
so
I was
much.
about to say the same. Mr. Kushal Trivedi, you were great in moderating the session, and also Miss Devi Tanya, Miss Devi Tanya, and also Miss Anuradha Agarwal from Multivashi, and another Anuradha Agarwal from Janazil. So all of you were great, and the session was great. Thank you for sharing your life stories, your business models, your fundamentals, and many other things. And congratulations, Anuradha, for winning MyGov app award. So
Thank you so much.
Congratulations from Vyapar Jagat and all of us.
Thanks a lot. I would also like to compliment you guys for being so brave and inviting two Anuradhas with the same surname on one panel. I'm not worrying about. I was about to suggest that you can call me Multibhashi and you can call her Think Not instead of calling us Anuradha at all.
No,
Anuradha, in that case,
beautiful names.
Correct. In that case, that credit goes to Tanya, because Tanya suggested Anuradha. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
It was, we all are online now, but still, I request all the participants, all the viewers to give a huge round of applause, because, this is very inspiring session we had, and very inspiring stories you all have shared. And I am sure, this session, or, the early risers, those who, especially, the women entrepreneurs, those who are starting something new, those who are starting their own venture, startup, right? They will learn out of, this kind of stories. And we are expecting more such startups come in India. And, as Tanya is also having a very big vision, and we make sure that, India provides such ecosystem to us, to infrastructure and everything. And we, all startups dream can come true in India. So it was a really wonderful session. And Kushal, you have moderated it very well. Thank you so much, all of you, for being with us in this particular session.
Can I say
Dr.
something?
Praveen, and
Thank you, Dr. Praveen. Thank you,
so
Kavita.
much.
Anuradha, thank you for agreeing to do this at
you can call them Anuradha Square.
The idea was to give you both wings, because I've like I said, I've known you. So बहुत ही बढ़िया काम कर रहे हो दोनों. And thank you, Dr. Praveen. Thank you, Kushal. You were absolutely wonderful. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks.
Thank you, everyone.